everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Monday, January 13, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. You cannot be happy with a serious mind. With a festive mind, you can be happy. Take this whole life as a myth, as a story. It is one. But once you take it this way, you will not be unhappy, Michelle. Whenever we do not allow ourselves to trust the process of this life, we tend to cling to it all along the way. Worry, stress, fear is the mind attempting to not create what it doesn't want. By obsessing about what it doesn't have or want, and this unconscious spin cycle is exactly how we manifest more of what we don't want, and is one of the greatest ways to drain your manifesting vibration. When you always think about what you do not want to happen, how much energy is left to focus on what you do want? Take the planet for this in this very now moment, for instance. Most of us are worried about out there. What if this happens, that happens? Look at this. Oh, did you see this? And on and on and on. We spend an exorbitant amount of vibrational energy in that direction, in the direction of things that we do not want. And the reason that we delve into manifestation so much is because it's what we do. Everything. Manifest relationships, manifest everything. Manifest money, manifest this, manifest that, manifest this. We're always manifesting something. And the more we focus on the fact that it's a little bent, because we look at it from the perspective of, well, it's in the heart-mind, and I'm choosing to go into the heart-mind, and the ego-mind, I can leave it alone. I can leave the ego-mind alone. I don't really care to be immersed in the ego-mind anymore. And by doing that, saying that affirmation more than once, you then reaffirm the fact that that is your decision and commitment to yourself, is to go within, focus on all aspects of you, good, bad, indifferent, any guilt, anything that you've been carrying. Not only this life, maybe others. And then release it. Give it to the universe. I mean, a lot of us have these things hanging around us, hanging. But we don't get rid of them. We don't let them go. Now, we've all experienced this more than once. None of us are exempt from it. You may have noticed that your mind can become fixated on certain thought patterns and get wrapped around one little idea about what it doesn't want to occur. Now, it occasionally creates this repetitive, mini-futuristic fear that we often refer to as worrying. And the mind tends to obsess, dwell, and get hooked into whatever it thinks it has to have to be happy, loved, free, important, rich, etc. It especially becomes wrapped around those things it believes it cannot have. So if your mind naturally is an obsessaholic, why not fixate it on feeling what it's like to manifest your dream life? That's a novel idea, huh? Being caught in the worry habit is a lot like a couch potato stuck in the deepest crevice of the couch. They're watching some completely ridiculous rerun on TV yet cannot find the motivation, desire, or creativity to get out of their cozy sinkhole and do anything new or different. The word mindset can suck you into its hypnotic inner TV and entertain you for hours, days, years, and even lifetimes. It feeds on your fear that if you let go of control, stop clinging, and start trusting this life, then the worst possible thing that you don't want to happen will suddenly happen. That's what the mind is believing. The truth is that clinging to anything in this life just perpetuates the manifestation of more stagnation and causes a deeper anxiety to take root inside you. And the only way out is to let go, trust the divine intelligence within life. And once you do, you'll be free to feel everything that arises from a place of non-attachment and instantly shift your vibration to being completely worry-free. Now, we can easily create anything we want in this life with trust. When you deeply trust that all of your desires will manifest at the perfect time, they simply do. Timing is everything for the soul. When you let go of your ego's agenda, you realize there was nothing to worry about in the first place. Everything is always taken care of in our lives. The soul has a much bigger plan. All that it takes is going within and allowing the universe to support you in making your every desire blossom into reality. And the more you go inside and across the infinite divine consciousness that you truly are, the easier it is to naturally live from a state of trust. It's a good question to ask oneself. How much do I trust myself? And not ego-mindedly, not superficially. Now, as we continue to explore our divine nature and dive deeper into the truth of who and what we truly are, we will start to feel greater waves of trust wash over and through us. It is impossible for us to worry when we remember that we are an infinite and timeless being, because we know that nothing outside of us can hurt or impact us negatively. Trust is inherently a natural part of each and every one of us. You were born to trust. As a baby, that is all that you knew how to do. You didn't know doubt or worry. And the most primal parts of yourself always trusted what was happening and knew that everything was perfect. It was only when your ego mind started claiming the kingdom that you started falling prey to the illusions of worry. Right now, in your life, what is the thing that you spend the most time worrying about? Decide right now to shift from worrying about this issue to completely trusting. Now, each time you find yourself worrying about this particular issue, simply notice where this experience is occurring between your ears and relax. Notice how perfect the present moment is and how there is really nothing to worry about. And it's a habit that everybody gets into. It's easy to get into. You know, it's easy to fall into the ego mind, and the ego mind's always worrying. It's about something. It's got to be something it's worried about. It never can be nothing, right? Now, we can choose to be aware, right? We can choose to be aware of it. But yet, do not buy into it. In other words, don't dive into it. Don't interact with it. It is one of the most overlooked, destructive habits that leak our precious energy away from enjoying life and living out our mission. What causes it to happen in the first place is that the mind simply lacks mental discipline, intention, and focus. Now, that's not difficult for any of us watching, right? Not judging, but watching. It's not difficult for us to see that in this civilization. Imagine that the worrying mindset is like a herd of wild, untrained horses running out of control in a small, tight corral. The more undisciplined these horses are, the more frustrated they become in the corral. Now, the problem here is not that these crazy horses are galloping everywhere out of fear. The real issue is that you choose to follow them. When the reins on the mind are too tight or too loose, this herd will not listen and trample all over you. They'll stomp all over your feelings, your desires, relationships, and leave your life dreams far behind in the dust. And the only way is to lasso the entire herd, teach them to become more conscious. The golden key to consciousness is trust. How are you when you're around somebody and you say to yourself, I don't know if I trust that being. And where does that come from? Where does that trust? It's interesting because it's a gray line. It's a fine line. Most of the time, we've experienced in this life many different challenges where people, well, they'll convey that they're they come across honest and forthright and centered, and then they aren't. So each one of us that we interface with, anybody you meet, you have to trust you. You don't have to, you choose to. You trust you. And then when you trust you, it's easy peasy because when you interface with anybody else, you'll know, and you pick up something from their vibrational frequency that is, you really, you kind of go, it's kind of a moment, right? It's not judging, it's a feeling that you get. And they don't even have to talk or interact or anything. You just be around them, and you get that. And it isn't a judgment. It's in the heart. It comes in the heart, and you go, You're not sure. You're sure about you, and that's good because you picked up on the fact that this being maybe is not all up front. So we don't buy into it. Now, many people have been wrestling with their own inner herd for years. You may feel defeated. You may have become a worry zombie. This is someone who is numb to lighter thoughts. Have you ever met anybody like that? Someone who's numb to lighter, brevity and have fun, right? They're like a zombie. This is someone who is numb to lighter thoughts, abundant consciousness, and outrageous pleasure. If this sounds at all like you, it's time to take the first step out of that zone, lasso the herd stallion, grab onto the reins. It's like, we all know what a Bengal tiger looks like. It's a very beautiful, large animal. Some of us will be eaten by that tiger in life. Some of us won't, because we will say, I'm going to ride that tiger. I am actually going to sit on the back of that tiger, and I'm going to ride that tiger through this life. What is the tiger? What does the tiger represent? Your life. That's what it represents. The challenges, the ups, the downs, the different things that we manifest and we're not even aware of. And you ask yourself, you see these two, you see the Bengal tiger, and you say, either I'm going to learn to ride that tiger, or it's going to consume me. It's an instant visualization, and it's very clear. Are you going to master this life, or are you going to allow the life to master you and consume you? That's the bottom line. It just depends on your choice. You have a certain group of people you trust. You spend as much of your time as you can caressing everyone in your trust stable. This will be your new home and will empower you from slipping back into the worry corral in the future. There is no room for the vibration of worry when you are bathing every beastly thought with trusting feelings. Trusting the exact opposite vibration of worry. Trust is the exact opposite vibration of worry. When we are practicing trust, it becomes truly impossible for anyone to enter the worry corral again. All the thoughts that you had about tomorrow or yesterday, they don't become so important. You simply trust each moment of existence, consistently letting go of ideas about the future and past. And in your trust stable, you are relaxing into the perfection of each thought, connecting each one with its true infinite nature. You see how it all connects. It's not separate. This information is that we contain. It's a discovery for us, either in this lifetime, the next one, or the next one. It's like you're the master and commander of the body, right? You are aware that you are not the body, that the body houses what you truly are, which is pure consciousness. And the body affords you the opportunity to experience phenomenal physical material life and all that goes with it. So then, as you bring everything back together, you realize that, okay, so this body's temporary. This isn't a body that I will have for the next million, billion, trillion years. It's temporary. Because imagine this. Let's say that you were mortal. Okay? You're mortal, and you know that the body that you're in is going to stay young, vibrant, and healthy for as long as you choose to be in it. Now, you may, some of us may say, I would like to be in that body for 10,000 years. You see, you look at the scope of that. You got to do it through the heart mind because the ego mind's too small to comprehend it. So, but then others would say, I'd be good for 500 years. Now, we look at these lives and we see how fast they go. They go fast. 90 years is a drop in the bucket. Someone you know has passed, and the next thing you know, they passed 15 years ago. It's interesting because I look at that, and my mother and sister passed 15 years ago. And it seems like it was only a few days ago. So you get the perspective and you realize that the amount we've been convinced the amount of time that we stay in these bodies is a long time. I mean, you make it to 100 years old, wow, you're a centurion. Now imagine you're 100 years old and you come and you sit at a table and you're talking with someone who's 20,000 years old. Talk about fascinating, right? And then you realize that your trust factor is the enjoyment of this life and you trusting you to enjoy the life. Now, when we have doubt, it doesn't matter what it is. We have that little teeny doubt about something, right? And what happens is it negates it. It negates that flow every time we have doubt. You might sit there and go, I don't know. And that flow is blocked. It's interrupted. And that's because of our trust. When we fully trust ourselves and we have confidence and faith, 100% across the board in ourselves in this universe, then you have total peace. You embrace the comprehension, understanding that you are a omnipotently powerful, supreme, manifesting, abundant being that never dies. And you look at this by saying, well, the body never dies. So that gives you the opportunity to stay in it as long as you want and to leave it whenever you want. That's how it should be. It's you see how things are clearly. Then you say to yourself, this doesn't make sense here. Okay? Well, I comprehend coming into a body and experiencing a life. That I get. Some of the areas I don't get is not having a memory of any past lives and going over and over again the same thing with just a different body, different situation, and experience that. So we do this. All of us have done it so many times. So we fall into material, physical, that particular life, and we just move forward. Any residual memories of a past life slowly fade away. And then we're at it again. Doesn't it make sense, though, that when you master and you're in the now and heart-mindedness the majority of the time, and the ego mind is beginning to recede, and you're looking at your thoughts a lot differently, the thoughts that come in, you go, just pass on by. You begin to master your life. Mastering life means that you can direct any direction you choose. You can direct that you're going to manifest something, you have no doubt, you have perfect confidence and trust in yourself and the universe, and you just know, okay, that's taken care of. The universe is forming it for me. Right? Because remember, we're the universe is us. How would you feel if you knew deep within you that you could manifest anything you desired? I mean, without a doubt, without any, even a quantum particle doubt. That you knew implicitly that, okay, you focus in the now through the heart-mind on this, and this is what I want, and let it go. And see, because there's no attachment, there's no expectation. And some people say, well, I don't have any expectations or attachments. But if it doesn't happen the way you want it to, you're disappointed. You're let down. You suffer. Because in actuality, you were in the ego mind when you went to manifest it. Doesn't it seem to us that it's almost backward? Doesn't it seem that way, that it was turned backward? So rather than attracting, we were taught to pursue. Right? Weren't we? Yeah. We were taught to pursue things, to go after things. And then in actuality, the reverse, the opposite of that, is really the truth. You send the signal out to the energies, and then the universe starts to form whatever it is. Now it could be something that you're not consciously aware of that you're attracting, that you're manifesting. And that happens to be something that you would say, I really don't care to have that. I don't care to experience that. I mean, when you think how exciting it is, when in this quiet time, this meditation, where you're in a comfortable position, you're relaxed into your body, you have no outside interference, you're still as a statue, and you're focused on your breath rising and falling. And to begin to discover that you are the omnipotently powerful, supreme, manifesting, abundant being that never dies. Yet the majority of us don't even open that door for lifetimes. We pursue, we go after, right? We grab, we pull. We have expectations and attachments to the outcome, how things are going to work, what if this and this and this and this. We lay things out, and then that means we're in ego mind. But when we're kicked back, relaxed in the body and the now, it's like common occurrence. This is what I want. You state it, and you send it to the universe, and the rest is history. And then some of us will say, well, I did that, but what I got was okay, but it wasn't what I wanted. It wasn't what I, here we use the word expected. And then you say, well, then how did you request this? How did you send that thought out? Was it sloppy? Was it in a hurry? Was it half-assed? All those things make the difference on what comes to you. The desire and the want that you have and what comes to you tells you how specific were you. It will show you. It'll say, I wasn't that specific, so this is why I have this now. So you learn from that and say, I've got to be very detailed and specific if it's something that I truly want in my life. And so we practice that, and you get to the point where you do that. And you don't send out, 50 different requests. You have something that you desire, you have it well thought out through the heart mind, and then you send it out. That's it. I mean, it'd be great to see everyone discovering this true ability that everyone has, just to discover it and to start using it. With no doubt, no fear, no worry, no stress, no anxiety, period. You just do it. Have fun doing it. I mean, isn't it interesting that we come here to enjoy our lives? We do not come here to just experience different forms of pain and suffering. We don't. That's not the natural state of being. It's because this planet's been twisted so much and it's been influenced by lower dark matter frequencies for so long. That's why it is the way it is. And when you convince a bunch of light beings that that's the truth, what do you think is going to happen? So our direction is the opposite of everything we've ever been taught. Don't take life very seriously. Okay? Enjoy the life. Have 100% confidence, trust, and faith in yourself and this universe. The universe never let you down. Ever. Always there. Best friend you could ever have. And you get into the flow of the heart mind. You begin to realize that there's no reason that I have to leave the heart mind. So my attitude is that you discover the heart mind. You know what it is. You're not going to. You'll be changed completely, but you're not going to leave it, if at all possible. And then you have the ego mind, which you're also aware of, and that you use the heart mind to master the ego mind. It's almost like layers, right? Steps. You go up so many steps and you pass this threshold, and you go so many steps and you press that threshold. And that's what this is about. It's for you to determine, I want total freedom, which I am within this body. Wild freedom. I want to enjoy this life. And the things that you want, and you are specific, and you send them to the universe. And when you send them, you have no doubt, no fear, no anxiety, and you don't have any doubt or fear and anxiety or distrust after you send it. Because this is what happens to a lot of people. They intend something for themselves. And it's great. It's great. And then maybe about, could be a week or 2 weeks, this little kind of thing, doubt comes in. You say, I wonder if that's really going to happen. And you should basically say anything can happen. Anything's possible. So if it does happen, great. If it doesn't, great. See, because then you're not attached. When we aren't attached is when things happen. You ever notice that? When we get attached, usually things don't happen. And so we're disappointed. And we suffer. That's ego mind. Now, you know you're in the heart mind when you send out a request for something. Right? And heart-mindedness, and you're not attached to it. I know that sounds strange. You're really not attached to it, but you're very excited about it. So you know that everything, this is where we get that we comprehend the fact that everything is temporary. Everything. And we leave it all behind anyway. And when you understand who and what you are, it's absolutely phenomenal gig that we have on this planet in these physical material bodies. It's phenomenal. It's magna glorious. It's spectacular. Because of all the feelings and all the expressions and all the interactions and everything that we immerse ourselves in, then we just discover this, discover that, and find out this about ourselves, that about ourselves. We move out of judging ourselves and others, and we move into loving ourselves and others. We move out of distrust or doubt into trust. We move out of fear because we discover that there really is nothing to fear at all. The reason that we fear is because we're so attached to these physical material bodies. And the fear is created of something happening, or that the ego mind's there and saying, what if this happens, what if that happens? And the fear is there. But in heart-mindedness, that doesn't exist. You float. You really do. You just float. And it isn't an arrogance like it would be through the ego mind, but through the heart mind. It's just a knowing. You know. And you exude that because there's people that'll be around you, and they feel that confidence. They feel it. But it's not looked upon as being arrogant or carried away with oneself. It's put very subtly. They just know that you know. And then we have the opportunity to change anything we choose to change whenever we choose to change it. And we also know that however we are with ourselves is what others are going to feel when they're around us. If someone enjoys themselves, likes to have fun, right? What do you think is going to happen when other people get around them? They're going to feel that. They will then start having fun. They will then start enjoying themselves. Maybe some of you remember this. Remember when you were a kid? We used to have these years ago, and they were like dances that you would get together, right? And you would have a bunch of kids sitting. You know, they would call those, because they're sitting next to the wall, and they would call them wallflowers. And so, and then, of course, the young men, the young boys would be sitting there, and everybody would be scared to death to dance, so wouldn't dance. So everybody just sit around, music would be playing. And then, eventually, a brave young man gets up, and he walks across the room, and he asks one of the girls to dance. She accepts, so they go out and they start dancing. Everybody is just absolutely, wow, they did that. See? So eventually what happens is more and more start doing it, and then the majority of the people are on the dance floor, and then just a few are the wallflowers. You see, we affect each other, whether we know it or not. We affect each other all the time. So you'll be around somebody who is grumbling and mumbling, and you say, hey, that's a great outfit on you. It's old. I was going to throw it out, but I thought I'd wear it one more day. Then you say, well, isn't it a beautiful day? The sun's shining? Yeah, but you know what? It's supposed to rain. Have you ever been around anybody like that? Isn't it great to be alive? No, not really. I've got this pain, that pain, and life sucks. Right? Or you get around somebody that is like up, really up, for no particular reason. Just say, wow, you seem really percolating there. And they say, yeah, because I just feel like it. Nothing in particular stimulated it. Because that's what we are within us. The happiness, the joy, the peace, the enthusiasm, the excitement, is all within us. Always has been. So when you're walking around, you are filled with joy, bliss, happiness, peace, because that's what you really truly are. I join you in meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose. And an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain relaxed into your body. Still focused on your breath rising and falling. Don't wait another minute to be at peace. Simply surrender to the most relaxed part of you. Peace is already there at the very center of your innermost being. Our deepest true spiritual essence is always at ease. It knows this is all an eternal game. Just surrender to it, slowly, softly. And just let peace find you. Take this with you for the rest of the day and the evening and night, the following morning. We'll return here Tuesday, January 14, 2025. After 3:15 p.m. Eastern, continue our global guided meditation call. We'll be having a time for change call this Wednesday night at after 9:15 p.m. Eastern. To give you a picture of what really is going to unfold on this planet. And it isn't all the stuff being talked about right now. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Being the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude at all times. No matter what's going on within you or outside of you. Open your heart and allow the magic to flow in.